Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, how are you? I hope you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. You are going to solve your assignments regarding various topics. And your final examination is coming very soon. So, I am here to take a new online class. Today, I am going to take a class on synthesis, and so I want to pay your close attention to the classes. Welcome to my class with the gift of flowers. As I am not new with you, still I am introducing myself. I am Imran, assistant teacher, Narayganj High School and College. Our today's topic is synthesis, Unit 3, Lesson 2 for class 9 and 10, English first grade. Dear student, now is the time to evaluation. What do you mean by evaluation? Evaluation means what will you learn after reading the passage. After completing our passage, what will you learn by this passage? First of all, number one, by reading this passage, you will get a clear concept of the passage. When we will finish reading the passage, we will get a clear idea about the passage. Then you will be able to solve the multiple choice question. After finishing the passage, any passage, we will find some questions. If we read the passage clearly, we will able to solve the question perfectly, and you will also able to write the correct answer of the following question. After reading the passage, you will also some questions that should be answered by us. So if you read the passage perfectly and if you realize the passage properly, you will able to answer the questions of those questions. Now, dear students, before going to start our passage, I want to show you a picture. What do you see? Look at the picture and what do you see in the picture? Actually, this is the picture of a group of people. A picture of a group of people who are revolting for their rights, for their respects, for their dignity, for their equality. Actually, they are the workers. They want their rights, they want their needs. Now, if I ask you which day is related with this picture, can you guess which day is the day? Yes, you are right. Today, I am going to discuss about me. Now, let's start our passage. Before going to passage, I want to show you another picture. This is the picture of May Day or International Day of Workers. We can also say International Day of Laborers. The workers here stay together to get their demand, to get their need, to get their respects, to get their justice. So now we start our passage. May Day or International Worker Day is observed in May 1st. May Day is, we can also say the another name of May Day is International Workers Day, International Laborers Day. This day is observed. Observe means celebrate. We celebrate the day on 1st May. Not only our country, it is observed all over the country. What today? Today means here at present to commemorate the historical struggle. Here the word commemorate. Commemorate means to recall or to show respect for something or someone, for the specific event, specific incidents. Is historical struggle and sacrifice of the working people. Here we recall the historical struggle and the sacrifice of working people who worked that time to to establish an 8-hour work day. They fight. Why they fight? Why they struggle? They struggle for 8 hours work day. To set up an 8 hours work day, that is their demand. It is a public holiday in almost all the countries of the world. It is the day is declared public holiday. The day is the vacation for the all classes of people. Since the industrial revolution in the 18th and 19th century, industrial revolution started at the end of the 19th century and it began at the beginning of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th century. In Europe and the USA, the workers in medicine factories had been working in long shifts. That time, the workers had to work a long shift. They are bound to work a long time, more than 14 or even 14 hours a day. It is very suffering for those workers. So they went down to struggle to establish their rights. This is the actual scenery of that time's factory. Their workers were working there for a long time. They had to work more than 14 hours a day. On May 1st in 1886, as a result, in 1886, the 1st May, inspired by the trade union, insisted by the trade union. Trade union is the organization of labor. Half of the workers at the McCormick Harvest Company in Chicago went to strike. Demanding an 8 hours work day. As they worked a long shift, they needed to 8 hours work day. So they come to fight against the law of authority. Two days later, a workers' rally was held near the McCormick Harvester Company. About 6,000 workers had joined. It is a lot of protests. The rally was addressed by the labor leaders. They are organized by the labor leaders. The labor leader insisted him. The labor leader encouraged him to fight against to get their demand. Here you also find the real scenario of that time's McCormick Harvest Company. It is the real company. If you look, you will also you will also find the name of McCormick Harvest Company of that time. Okay, then they asked the workers. They means the leader of the workers. Are the workers to stand together? They insisted the workers. They declared the workers. They said to the workers to stand together, to stand unitedly, to go on with their struggle, and not to give into their bosses. Here, the phrase "not to give into their bosses" means not to surrender themselves to their bosses. Just at this moment, some strike breakers started leaving the meeting place. That time, suddenly, some strike breakers who came to join the strike, but suddenly they start to break the strike, and they wanted to leave the meeting place. The strikers went down the street to bring them back. Suddenly, about 200 policemen attacked them with clubs and revolvers. Suddenly, 200 police attacked them. One striker was killed instantly. Presently, one striker was killed. That time, 5 or 6 others were seriously wounded, and many of them were badly injured that time. This is the scenario of that time's policemen attack the strikers, and one striker here, the one striker instantly was killed by the policemen, and many more workers were injured seriously. The events of May 1st War, 1886, is a reminder. It is a reminder that remind us that workers will continue to be exploited. Here, the exploited means deprived, or oppressed, until they stand up and speak out to gain better working conditions, better pay, and better lives. The workers will deprive their working. That time the working place is not suitable for work, and their salary is very poor, and the life they live is very miserable, very suffering. So they demanded their better salaries and better conditions. For this reason, they came down to struggle. That is the basis. If you read it minutely, you will understand the meaning of the passage clearly. Dear students, now come to the pattern of question. First of all, I want to show you some multiple choice question. Choose the correct answer from the alternative. Which of the following has the closest meaning of the word exploit? Exploit means actually to treat someone illegally. To treat somebody fairly to benefit, to treat somebody unfairly for benefit, to take the due opportunity, to stand together. Here the answer is to treat somebody unfairly for benefit. Our second one is, what does the expression industrial revolution mean? What do you mean by industrial revolution? Demand of the laborers, right of the laborers, revolution of the owner of the industries, expansion of mills and factories. Here the answer is revolutions of the owners of the industries. The third one is May Day signifies. What do you mean by May Day? May Day symbolizes what? The right of working class people, the importance of day holiday, the inspiration of hardworking people, none of them. Here the answer, the right of working class people. Which of the following best describes the workers during the industrial revolution? Beginning the industrial revolution, which word describes the workers perfectly? Facilitated, deprived, privileged, honorable. That time they were exploited and they were deprived of their basic rights. So we can say deprived is the right answer. Our next one, the labor leaders inspire the workers not to dash their bosses. Here, not to give, we find in the passage that not to give into their bosses. That means not to surrender to their bosses. Given something, hit their bosses, start protesting, or alternative question is surrender. So our answer is surrender. That time the labor leaders urged the workers not to surrender themselves to their bosses, and they inspired them to stay together to continue their struggle. So our answer is surrender. Our next one question pattern is answer the following question. You will find 5 questions to answer. First one is, why is May Day observed all over the world? If you read the passage carefully, or if you listen to me carefully, you will answer. You will able to answer the question more easily. The answer is May Day or International Worker Day is observed to commemorate the historical struggle. Here you also write that to recall the historical struggle and sacrifice of the working people to establish an 8-hour workday. Second question, what were the causes that lead to the struggle? The answer is the laborers wanted to get their rightful wages. The labor wanted to get their due wages and reduce the working hours. As they had to work more than 14 hours, they want to reduce their working hours. Instead of 14 hours, they want to work 8 hours for a long working that lead to. This is the reason they lead to their struggle with the employers. Our third question is, what was the event of May Day reminders? May Day reminders, May Day recall us. Which event? The event of May Day reminders, the event of May Day recalls us that workers will continue to be exploited. Workers will continue to be deprived until they stand up unitedly to speak out to gain better working conditions, better pay and better lives. If they do not stand up, the workers will not get their due respects, will not get their due salary, due dignity. Our fourth question is, what lesson do you get from the events of 1886? The event of May Day reminds us that workers will continue to be exploited until they stand up and spoke up to gain better working conditions, better pay and better lives. What lesson do you get? What do you learn from the process, from the events, from the incidents of 1886? What should we learn? It gives us a great lesson that until we stand up unitedly, we will be exploited, we will be deprived, we will be oppressed, we will be depressed by our owners of the farm, owners of the mills and factories. Do you support the idea that May Day is an inspiration for the workers across the world? Give reason for your answer. If you agree with this question that May Day inspire the workers, you must answer yes. If your answer is yes or no, you have to give the reason why your answer is yes, why your answer is not. I support the idea that May Day is an inspiration. Obviously, it is an inspiration for the workers across the world. Today, workers, irrespective of their countries, know their rights as well as responsibilities, while due to the incident of May Day. They are inspired by the incident of May Day. So, we can say that May Day has a great impact for the workers to get their due rights and responsibilities. Dear students, I again want to say that if you read any kind of while you read any kind of sync passage, you have to understand the passage very carefully. You have to realize the passage. Sometimes you will get some difficult words, some unknown words. You have to pay attention of the context of the passage. You have to know the new vocabularies. Then it is easy to you to answer the questions of the synthesis. Thank you very much to join my class.